Welcome to an all-new Downright Sports. Put the signs down. Put the signs down. Resume. Hello, everybody. I'm your host, the notorious sports critic, Brent Reed, back with another episode of this historic Season 10. Oh, no. I think I can actually do it. Of Downright Sports. Sports. If you've never seen the show before, you never heard the show before, it's ridiculous. So I hope you guys enjoy it. Thank you for tuning in and listening here on DJ Chase Radio, and also thank you for downloading the podcast. Also follow and like on all social media platforms and subscribe on YouTube. Oh, I thought that's my wedding ring. So if you're listening and you're watching, if you're watching right now on YouTube and Facebook, thank you. Second, I know, right? It's Monday. What the heck am I doing on a Monday? Well, we got to make adjustments sometimes, kids, and today we're making the adjustment. So, let's dive into it, shall we? The NFL is back, and the anticipation is here. Everyone is excited. Yesterday, across America, grills burning, smokers smoking, tailgates, gating, houses across America streaming football, watching it live, stealing it illegally. What? No, I don't do that. Everybody watching football, millions of jerseys being worn, kitchens filled with chicken wings and dip and everything. That's pretty much what happened yesterday. But there were also games. And we had some pretty exciting games yesterday, just to name a few. For example, there was the highly anticipated debut of Cam Ward with his Tennessee Titans. Cam Ward was drafted number 1, and he went against the Denver Broncos. Well, he put up a goose egg. He did not throw a touchdown. In fact, the final score was 20-12, Denver. Then how about this? Travis Hunter, the number 2 pick, who was drafted by the Jaguars. He can play both sides of the ball. This is phenomenal. We've never seen a player like this in a long time. Jacksonville would win 26-10. Travis Hunter, well, he caught the ball 3 times for 33 yards. I don't know if he got a tackle yesterday. Did he get a tackle yesterday? We're looking. And we're looking. Travis did get a tackle yesterday, believe it or not. How about that? So that's something. That's something. But how about that game last night? A game in which I did not finish. The Bills, who, by the way, shout out to Joe and Lex, who were at that game last night. Nothing like being at a season opener. And I'm shout out to the king. You know what? I'll say that to the end of the show. But the Bills look like they were out of it. The Ravens look like they were cruising. The Ravens, the team which my wife picked to go to the Super Bowl this year, FYI, doesn't know anyone on the team, but her pick is Green Bay and the Ravens. So we'll see if that happens, because she calls that one, kids, we're taking it to Vegas. But Buffalo came back and won an exciting offensive game, 40-41. That's what we call a Brent Reed kind of game. 40-4. Those are the games I need on all the time, because there was a lot of stinkers. Joe Burrow and the Browns. Joe Burrow barely was able to beat the Browns. He allowed Joe Flacco. This is the battle of the Joes. How about that? That used to be a bad thing. Nobody wanted to be an average Joe. But Joe Flacco showing that age ain't nothing but a number. Him and Aaron Rodgers going to that Rajah Gould pit and getting the fountain of youth, and they almost beat the Bengals, but the Bengals prevailed and won. How about this? Speaking of Aaron Rodgers, he returned to New York. Aaron Rodgers spent 2 years wrong. Aaron Rodgers spent a game in a full season with the New York Jets, and it was terrible. And came back with the Steelers and won, but it was ugly. We were told all year, all off season rather, that the Steelers have a historic defense, a defense you've never seen before. Those the 85 Bears, get out of here. The 2000 Ravens, come on. We're talking the Lawrence Taylor led Giants. Pah. These Steelers are the defense of ever, and in fact, they were. If that's how they're going to play all season, they got a long season because they gave up 32 points to a Jets team I watched in person that was dog crap in the preseason and allowed Justin Fields to feel himself and think there was a chance, and there was. A couple drop. Jets could have won that game, but kudos to Aaron Rodgers, who threw 4 touchdowns and no interceptions. So great for him. Another redemptive story. How about this? Daniel Jones casted out of New York. Yes, I was one of those who said, get him the hell out of here. Well, sure enough, found himself in Indianapolis, the home of Peyton Manning, and blew out the Dolphins, which we're going to discuss. What the heck just happened? Everything always sounds louder in the headphones when it falls. I swear. Daniel Jones and the Colts beat the Dolphins 33-8. Not good. Not good at all. So that's just to name a few. The Washington Commanders looked really good against the Giants, but quite frankly, me, Moneypenny Shaft, and Mariana could probably look good against the Giants too, based on whatever they got going on. That guy who's the head coach of the Giants, whose name I don't care to learn, because he's done nothing with the Giants in the time he's been there. We were told as Giants fans that here we are, here's our savior, here's the guy that, he coached Josh Allen. He's the reason why the Bills' offense is so good. It may have gotten better since his bum butt left, but since coming to the Giants, has done nothing. Nothing. Did I stutter or stammer? I did neither, because he did nothing. All right? So, good segue, because the Giants yesterday, I'm not going to say, because we throw this around way too much. People throw it around the new era, the so-and-so fill in the blank era. No, it's not the Russell Wilson era, all right? It's Russell Wilson gets to see what he can do with the Giants, okay? Russell, who went 17 for 37, 168 yards, 0 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, which isn't bad. He got sacked twice on 11 basically got to him a lot. They were coming for him, boy. But I wrote this segment down way different. I really did. And I changed it up as I was writing down his numbers and his stats, and we'll touch on that in a minute. But Russell Wilson, in my opinion, has to be one of the most judged, not just football players, but human beings I've ever witnessed. Because everything he does is overanalyzed, over-scrutinized, it's micromanaged, it's critiqued, it's looked over, and I can't help it to say that, and I'm just going to, I'm going to go there, guys. So, for those of you who hate talking race, I suggest you stop listening to the show right now and you just skip ahead until I'm not. But I can't help but think if Russell Wilson wasn't born this black guy, and Russell Wilson was a white guy from Richmond, Virginia versus a black guy from Richmond, Virginia, he would be celebrated a little bit differently. And I know what you're thinking, well, white people don't dislike him. No, they don't. It's black people that dislike him. Russell Wilson is one, early in his career, but this guy overshot everything when he came into the league, if you think about it. So he enters the league, and he's not even viewed in the same conversation as other. He's drafted in the 3rd round. He's the 75th pick by the Seahawks, and wasn't even picked to be the starter on his team initially. It was somebody else whose name doesn't matter. But you peel peel back his career and you peel back how he operates. He gets the Seahawks. He helps the Seahawks get to the Super Bowl back, twice. He had them in the playoffs countless times. He has been a modeled citizen as a player. He's been, I don't know what happens behind closed doors, but in public at least, he is a model husband. He is a model father. He is what the NFL should honestly have front and center. Now, his game didn't transcend the way Patrick Mahomes did. Patrick Mahomes is pretty much Russell Wilson walked so Patrick Mahomes can run, because Patrick Mahomes is kind of in that same like thing, but he's more accepted because he's won more and how he plays is a little more flashy. And Russell was a undersized quarterback who made it. Well, he's 5'11", 206 pounds right now currently, and has made a career out of this thing that some people cannot. And you hear other stuff. Oh, he's corny. He's lame. How is Ciara with him? He's boring. Yada 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 yada. And yeah, he's all those things, but he still was good at what he did. I would relate Russell Wilson to Tim Duncan. Now, calm down. But that type of personality of a guy that's not out now. Let me backtrack. I think Russell, where people started over analyzing him is when he got to Denver and he showed up in the country club garb, and he's got the orange Denver Broncos jacket and suit, and he's go Broncos, and all those embarrassing videos about him got out, which I think Denver signed him and regretted it because like too much information got out about him. And that's what I mean. Like, you're telling me that other quarterbacks, Dan Marino, Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Joe Montana, Tom Brady, fill in the blank great quarterback, didn't have certain amenities afforded to them? No, you don't hear about those treatments. You don't hear about that, but you did with Russell. And when it comes to football, right, there is a type of black athlete so many people cling to, especially in the black community. Is he flashy? Oh, Russell don't dance when he get in the end zone. He don't Dougie. He don't juju on the beat or whatever the hell people are doing. He doesn't. He scores a touchdown and keeps it moving, and he plays the game and he celebrates and he da 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 da. He doesn't go out there with a chain. Like, there's a guy, I got the Monday Night Football game on right now, right? No, yo, you got it, do it. But there's a dude on the Minnesota Vikings, I don't know his name. My man's got a chain on. Not like a little, like, what I got around. My man, this thing could pull the Titanic up from the ocean. What you need to be on the field with that for, B? But you floss it, so do your thing. That's not Russell, and it seems like because he doesn't do that, it diminishes what he's done as a player. Now, can he play now? The way it looks, no. His balling days is far and few behind him. Russell Wilson is 2 years younger than me. I'm 39. He's 36. I'm here to tell you right now, I couldn't go play 5 little kids in a football game. So I could only imagine a guy at the top of his game who's been getting hit for the last 20-something years. It ain't, you could move, but it ain't the same. As the Giants quarterback, he should not be the starting quarterback for the Giants. He should. Now, we've seen the Giants do this before. They draft a quarterback, you get a veteran quarterback to kind of mentor and take the beatings while you figure out where the holes are in this team, and then you build it up. Kurt Warner did it for Eli. Eli kind of did it for Daniel Jones, but the Giants honestly was better off just keeping Eli. But the Giants are doing, one, their fan base a disservice, and two, they're doing Russ a disservice. I would have preferred, Jameis Winston should be out there, in my opinion. If you're not going to go with Dirk, go with Jameis. Jameis at least is going to give you opportunities. He gets the ball down the field. I just don't think Russ can do it. He's going to have spurts, and he's going to look good at times, but the days is gone. The days you've seen him in Seattle, he took a lot of beatings in Seattle. The other thing I think that kind of hurt him, as far as like what people say, is how all his teammates talked about him after. And again, it's the same conversation. Oh, he just ain't black enough. Oh, he don't watch Friday enough. he'd rather watch Fried Green Tomatoes than Friday, which Fried Green Tomatoes is actually a pretty good movie. But, and so was Friday. But we kind of got to stop doing that. You got to celebrate everyone. If you go back and look at history, Jackie Robinson, most celebrated human being, not just in sports culture, but in American culture, and one of the most celebrated, and if not, should be one of the most celebrated black men ever. He was not flashy. If you look at Jackie versus Ricky Henderson, it's a day and night comparison. Hell, Jackie versus Willie Mays is a day and night comparison. But it didn't stop people from, it didn't lessen how Jackie was as a player, as a man, as an individual. He was still upheld while we just tear poor Russell down every single chance we get. And I will admit, it's a little weird, but I think it's a good weird. I don't think he's as lame as, and what's his name? Chowder? I don't want to butcher his name. He's on The Pivot. I love that show, The Pivot, by the way. Although I feel like Ryan Clark, who is awesome, is kind of like trying to pivot the show a little bit because he's become a little more polished on it. Which, no yuck. Go get that bag and call me when you're ready. For me to join the Pivot, because the Pivot could use Downright Sports just for a day. But Chowder's right. Sierra's not dating Russell. The Sierra we all grew up watching ain't dating Russell. Let's just keep that a buck. But it doesn't change the fact that we cannot let that be his reputation. We need to start recognizing this guy is a two-time a quarterback that took a team to the Super Bowl twice. He's got a Super Bowl ring. He has been respected. He's played fantastic throughout the years, and time is just up. And it's falling apart. It is what it is. All right. Also, another good show, Cam Newton and Mace. All right, another quarterback that may need to find work elsewhere. Every time I do this show, in the commercial break, I gotta put lotion on. Hands is dry. Listen to that. Start a fire right now if I keep going. Another quarterback that probably should look for work is Tua Tagovailoa, whose name I just made up. No, I'm joking. But Tua and Mike Daniels have been together for 4 years. In the 4 years, they went to the playoffs twice and done nothing. Tua, in my opinion, may have reached his limit yesterday. They weren't able to do anything. In yesterday's game, Tua did throw 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions. He had 114 yards passing. This guy has suffered concussion after concussion. And I think maybe if I'm Mike McDaniels, interception! The Bears look good. That's a touchdown. That's a TD, touchdown. Bears, Chicago is rocking right now. If I'm Mike McDaniels, I may have to sever ties with this Tua thing. I don't think it's going to work with Tua. And quite frankly, let's all remember, we were told Mike McDaniels was this offensive juggernaut genius and da-da-da-da-da-da. He's done nothing in Miami. I think he's on borrowed time himself. But, how much longer, if you're the Dolphins, do you keep rolling with Tua? Like, he's not getting it done at all. And it's unfortunate because he suffered through so many injuries. If you look at Tua last season, the course of his career, he's played 10 games, 13 games, 14 and 11. 2023 was his best year, over 4,600 yards passing, 29 touchdowns, 14 interceptions. And then last year, not so good. 2,800 yards passing, 19 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. He only got to play in 11 games. Dolphins, if the Dolphins can get back to a winning culture, it'd be a great city for football. But right now, I don't have anything. No, yeah, let me stand on this for a second. There are too many okay to suck teams in sports. The Dolphins is one in great cities. The Dolphins is one of them. Who's another? Pittsburgh Pirates are another. In basketball, you have the Washington Wizards. You have the Brooklyn Nets. Not the Clippers because they tried. You'd think I'd be talking about the Kawhi Leonard thing, but I don't really care. any case, can we do something about this? Like, commissioners, can you wake up and request your teams to try to compete? You know when someone's trying to compete, and you know when they ain't. They make splashy moves. They do something splash. And these owners are just stealing money. We're going to do a show next week where we discuss how sports used to be a family business. That's what next week's show is going to be about. Anyway, should we talk about Kawhi Leonard? Should I? It's crazy, right? Like, what do we actually pay? What do we care about? Like, he got paid under the table. Okay. Like, they haven't won a championship. He doesn't play. The conversation should more be like Kawhi Leonard is the great. Like, there's Bernie Madoff, Paul George, Bobby Bonilla, and Kawhi Leonard. Like, best to ever do it, just took money, did nothing with it, and just, quite frankly, the reason why they're the best to ever do it, because the owners and others were stupid enough to pay them that money. You gave them money for nothing. Nothing. Listen, Kawhi Leonard I'm not going to soup him up the way everybody. He's box. No, he's not box office. To be box office, you have to show up to the box office, okay? I knew Kawhi Leonard was something up with him when he chose to leave San Antonio, where he could have rode the coattails of Greg Popovich and Tim Duncan's reign after winning a championship in San Antonio. And you know why he didn't want to stay? And it never be spoken. He didn't want to deal with Pop, because Pop wasn't going to put up with all that crazy stupid laughter he be doing and not wanting to play. Pop wasn't going for it. So I go to Toronto. Toronto gave, he won the championship there, and he realized it's cold as hell up here in the winter. I'm going to go to California, and if I'm going to sit at home, I might as well sit at home and be able to go to the beach. And that's what he did. And him stealing that money, good for him. He ain't steal nothing if they gave it to you. Now, did the Clippers do something wrong? Us as fans, we don't know, because we're not privy to any of these stupid rules. So, quite frankly, we don't care. That's right. I said it. All right, this is Downright Sports, everybody. Facebook, YouTube, we're going to take a break. That's what we're going to do. We're going to take a break. And if you're listening on DJ Chase Radio, you will be privy to some smooth tunes from Wiz Khalifa. Remember when he was popping? Remember when Wiz Khalifa was supposed to be the next guy, and he was? And he just became the weed guy. Didn't he? We're going to play some Work Hard, Play Hard. Then when we come back, little segue, the Basketball Hall of Fame. I'm sorry. The place where everybody gets a gold star. Yeah, I'm a digging them. I don't need my glasses for this next segment. Downright Sports, everybody. Yeah, Facebook, YouTube, I still have you. Like, the Kawhi Leonard thing just baffles me, because, as you can see, nobody's outraged by it, because who cares? Like, nothing came of it. Nothing really happened. And I don't think anybody knew about it. Like, what rule did they break? Okay. Like, they offered him more money and he took it. Oh, he shouldn't have taken it. Okay, yeah. I like to see any of you get offered this money and not take it. $28 extra million to just basically show up. So, shirt's not tucked in. It's okay.